Hello everybody, this is Backblast. Here I am again, SimAirport, and it's been a little while, and I apologise for that. I've been caught up with other things, and also I had a bit of a problem with this game in that I loaded it up in order to record a video for you, and it basically went bankrupt, and it went bankrupt very, very quickly, and I sort of tried again and it went bankrupt, and this is the third time. So basically what I've done is if I just pause it, the pizza stall, the snack food kiosk and the health food kiosk and the newsstand all lose money, and they all lose a lot of money. And I could see this in the finance hub, although I can't see it now, because the other thing that was losing me money was the CFO guy. Charges an inordinate amount of money, so I've got rid of him as well. But first, before I got rid of him, I'd look on finance hub and I could see that the pizza stuff wasn't making money, this wasn't making money, and they were all just losing money all day. There was another thing as well. Now, there's a bonus in the game for getting the aircraft out on time. And basically every aircraft that you load and send out, if you do it all on time with all the passengers, all the luggage, you get a little cash bonus. And I think that can go up to about £2,000 per day if you load all your aircraft. Something like that. If you load all of them and they all get out on time, about £2,000. And I wasn't getting that either. And the reason for that was there was a blockage at security. So if you look at where the security is, I was getting big queues in the ticketing, but when I was looking at the aircraft and sort of saying where are all the people, I'd find that they'd be stuck here. And what I've done now then is I've just got this new ID check stand. We need a little queue there, don't we? So let's pop one of those in, and that goes to that queue. Close. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll see if people are still getting stuck here, or whether it then moves the problem onto this bit, or I don't know. We shall see. We'll keep an eye on it. But I don't want to. Obviously, I don't want to go bankrupt. I want to get this airport to a point where I can start showing you how to do upstairs and downstairs. So I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. I want to build another one of these ticketing kiosks here. So these are 1900. I can afford a few actually. Good. Good. Right, we need to keep an eye on the cash, but I'll tell you a little bit about upstairs and downstairs, as much as I can anyway, without actually building any of it. So now, when you build one of these gates, one of these hard standing areas, if it's a small one like this, it assumes that you're on the ground floor, and it will always connect to the ground floor. If you build well, they don't have a medium and a large, do they? They have a large and an extra large. But if you build a large, it automatically assumes that this is connecting to the first floor. So not the ground floor, the first floor. Because it's got one of these walkways that connect to the aircraft. And therefore, if you want anything larger than a small gate, there you go, it says it actually there. It says requires a door to the terminal on floor 2 rather than the ground floor. If you want one of those gates, you will have to build either an upstairs area for loading, or certainly you'd need a separate area for these to load onto the smaller ones. Now you can actually change these so that they will load on the second floor, which makes a lot of sense. So if you have all your outgoing passengers come into the building, go through ticketing, and then maybe through security, and then up some escalators or some stairs onto the second floor, and then all your boarding is done from the second floor, you can then have all this excuse me, you can have any passengers coming off the flight hopefully coming through the ground floor back to baggage. So I think that what we can do is maybe move some of the restrooms from here, have our little corridor that runs back to baggage claim, and all this area will be free for us to put maybe a couple of restrooms in here and have the big corridor that runs down, getting people back to baggage. We could also have a couple of vending machines and things, and maybe when we get a lot of passengers it becomes financially viable to get some of the Pizza Huts back and some of the other vending restauranty type things. I think that cafes tend to do better. I think that you get a lot more people going into a cafe, so maybe we'll try and build one of those at some point. But what I don't want to do is go bankrupt with this game while trying to show you the second floor and that sort of thing. So it's what, 8:30. Oh yeah, so the other thing is, if you want to get that bonus for loading all your aircraft, it doesn't make a lot of sense to try and cram in loads and loads of flights, because you only need to miss one in order to lose the bonus. So, you know, by all means put some more flights in, because that makes you a lot more money, but be aware that you may struggle to fulfill all your flights. Okay, I think I might actually put another couple in. What have we got here? Maybe those are both small ones, aren't they? Although the Airbus is quite small, but this is saying the Beechcraft. So those only take 19 passengers. We could probably put one of those in, that'd be fine. Well, this is saying the B737. We'll have that. It's a short runway, yeah. We'll have that. Can we have maybe an afternoon one? In fact, let's just pop that in here so I know where we're going. Yeah, I know. I know. Move the box. We can certainly get another orange one in there, can't we? Another 737 there. Let's have that one. Cool. Now, do we want any more red ones in? There's only 2 on offer. A Beechcraft, a Bombardier Dash. These are Bombardier Dash. They take 50 passengers. Okay. This one's saying that it's an E195, which takes 90. So I'll take that. That takes 90 passengers. And maybe we do take one of these. So that's not many people on that one. We should easily load that on time. But this is what I was saying about don't try and jam them in. There's absolutely no reason why I need to have... it's difficult when the pop-up keeps coming up. Have them all jammed close to each other. So make a bit of space. And the other thing is, if you're having trouble with a particular flight, let's say, for example, that this one keeps getting delayed because there's an awful lot of passengers trying to get through the terminal at this time, you can always extend the time it takes to load. You can just drag it out a little bit, just so that, you know, it loads all the way up. There is no reason why you can't do that. And similarly, I think you can shorten them as well. Let's just try that as well. Let's have a look at one of these. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, you can shorten them a little bit. So obviously they need time to get all the luggage on and off and to service the aircraft, although there's not an awful lot of servicing in this game at the moment. So where are we up to now? It's about 2 in the morning and we're at 45 grand. So that's roughly where I need to be. I need to be above that by midnight tomorrow, or 2 in the morning. Let's say 3 is 45 grand. 3 a.m. 45 grand. Okay, so that's the target for the next day. The first passengers coming in at 4 in the morning. First flight doesn't go out till 6. In fact, it departs at 8:15. The arcade was making money, and the drink and food vending machines were making money. If you look at the passengers now, I run the development mod of this, so basically. Oh, I've got all the health food stuffs in there. Okay. Basically, I can turn this on. Packs AI decisions, which is pretty good. If I then hover over the aircraft, it tells me where all the passengers are. I don't need to turn that on in any way. But what it also does is if I hover over an empty gate, it shows me all the passengers that are going to be using that gate today. When the aircraft comes in and I hover over the aircraft, it just points to those that are going on that aircraft. So for example, all these are coming in for the next flight. So you can see where they are. I can see that they're going through ticketing, alright. So everybody's through ticketing for this flight. The flight hasn't come in yet. There's the flight now. So for this flight, everybody's through, it looks like. The red ones are people who've got off the flight. Don't worry about the red ones. So everybody's through for this one as well. So these guys are actually coming through for the next flight. You can see they're getting through the ticketing fine. There's an awful lot of people up around these machines, which is why I put extra machines in. Everybody's got through security. But the other thing, while you hover on this, and it's quite difficult to see, but if you read down the list, the big pink one is a staff member getting on the flight. If you look down the list, it says a Forward Air. Let's just pause it for you. It says at Forward Air 2869. It says Boeing 737 Gate B1, scheduled arrival 12:30, and it actually arrived -19, so 19 minutes early. Scheduled departure is 2:30, and next to that in green, which is difficult to see, it says 100 minutes. So that's how many minutes it's got still left to go before it's all boarded. So you can see that counting down. So if you're hovering over the aircraft like this, you can see if all the people are getting on. So there's an awful lot of people for this flight, but they all got through the terminal on time. Now look, if I just pause it now, we've got half an hour, 33 minutes still, and the last guy's just getting on, so we know that we're all right with that. This one again, everybody's got through security. Again, with about 30 minutes or so, everybody should be on. All happy there. There's still people coming through security on this one, but there's quite a queue to get onto the flight, so there's still another 2 in security. 1 in security, last one's through security, rushes down, meets the back of the queue, 30 odd minutes again. Oh, look at the staff, there's loads of staff on this one. But you can see there's an awful lot of people still coming through security. Look at the ticketing and security here. So look at where the problem is. So you can see there's a massive amount of people waiting just to get through these. There's nobody waiting to get through these. Or I don't know what these two are doing. But this is where the problem is. They've come through here, or they've got their tickets here, and this is where the backlog is. This is where it's choking up. We need another security guy, don't we? The other thing is, this massive amount of people here also takes a while to get through. It's probably worth me putting another gate agent desk on for each of these. Although at the moment, everybody seems to be getting on the flights. So everybody's through security. They managed to get through, okay. So that one is... well, we're at half an hour now. There's still quite a few to go. With this flight, there's still a load in the security area. That's not good, is it? So let's just watch this one. So about 14 minutes to go. About 10 minutes. The last three are getting on. I think we're okay there. This one. Ooh. I'm not sure about this. So the important thing here as well with this one is if you look at the passengers down here, there's still a queue. So this guy, this gate agent desk, still has a queue, meaning that we're not actually waiting for this person or this person that's in the loo, because we can't get through the passengers fast enough to get them on the aircraft. Now, I haven't had an aircraft fail yet due to the passengers not getting on in time, but it's been close. So everybody got on that one as well, 100% boarded. So this one now, look at the people in security, loads of them. Now surely we can't fail on the last flight of the day. Is this the last flight of the day? I think it is. Down to half an hour, 20 minutes. Everybody's on. If I now go to, there is something in one of these somewhere. Let's see if we can find where I'm looking. Information, heat map. It's something to do with the flights. There is some flight status. If I look at yesterday or today's, it all departed with green. This little tiny green dot next to the figures tells you if you've done it or not. Look, departed. There's an orange next to that. Arrival 4:15. Departed 6:15. Actual department 6:16. It went a minute late. Now it actually arrived early and then went a minute late with everybody on it. So we failed on that one. So that was the... and it isn't even a massive flight compared to... there's a couple with over 100 on, and there's a load in the 90s. So 87, we should be flying through those. But it went a minute late. So I think what we need to do with that is maybe look at increasing the speed that we get them on the flight. And certainly look at getting another security guy in there. Now, if we think about where we were at 3 AM yesterday, we had, what was it? I can't remember now. 43,000, that was it. So obviously we're going to get some staff going out and things like that, staff wages. So just wait until 3 AM and we'll see where we're up to. But I think we're at 43, which means that hopefully we've made about, well, 20 grand profit in a day. Yeah, it's just wages going out and things like that. And a bus service. Nobody's here, but the buses are still running. For some reason we've got a police car outside. Okay. So it looks like we're making about 15,000 a day at least without doing anything really. Yeah, we've definitely made a profit there. Daily cash flow estimate is about 11 grand. It's saying. It's saying. Right, so let's see if we can change some bits up here. Right, in fact, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it and I'm going to do them in the next video. So what I'm going to do is we'll put some new, we'll rearrange all this lot. Now that we've got rid of those shops, we'll move the benches around, we'll move the gate agent desks and put another gate agent desk in for each gate, and we're going to put another security guy in down here and see how that affects everything. That'll all be in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video. We've had a good look at what's going wrong in the airport, so hopefully it'll help you judge where your airport's not doing so well, and you'll be able to sort of say, oh yeah, no, look at that queue there. I don't know whether you've got access to the same development build as I have. If you've got the game, then it's in the Steam bits. You know, when you go into Steam and you look at the information on the file. So if you right click on the name of the game in Steam, it'll tell you where the folders are kept on your computer. It'll tell you which version you've got and that sort of thing. Well, in there it gives you access to the development build, so it sort of says which build you want to load, and that's how I've got access to this. If you haven't got this, then just have a look at where there's big queues of people. I think there's another way of seeing that anyway. I think if you click on the flight, it sort of says highlight passengers, so this just does it automatically without having to click on the flight and click on the passengers and having to do it for every flight that comes in. It's just a bit easier. But there you go. So I hope the video has been useful. I hope you join me for the next one. My name's Backblast. I'll see you next time.